This episode of the Kill Innovations podcast is brought to you by listeners like you. You can become a supporter by visiting shop.philmckinney.com and making a contribution. Your support helps defray the cost to produce, host, and stream the show. As always, any profits are donated to charities such as hackingautism.org. I'm Phil McKinney, and welcome to Season 11 of the Kill Innovations podcast, a show about ideas, creativity, and innovation. Here's a quote from Jiddu Krishnamurti on passion. Passion is a rather frightening thing, because if you have passion, you don't know where it will take you. Boy, is that ever true. A very brilliant professor one time was invited to see Nanin, a Japanese master during the Meiji era, to inquire about Zen. When the professor got there, he was bubbling over with enthusiasm, sharing his research and knowledge, the doctrines he had extensively studied, and the sutras he knew by heart. Nanin poured tea while the professor spoke. The master kept pouring until the glass overflowed all over the floor. "Can't you see it's already full? It's spilling all over the floor," said the professor. "Like this cup," said Nanin, "you are full of ideas and opinions. How can you learn the way if your cup is not empty?" Crippled by knowledge and information, we too are often left in a tomb of disenchantment, too serious to dance in the rain, too cautious to build a sandcastle by the sea. We are just frozen in place by our own experience, our expertise, and fear. The art of innovation and of staying beginners is to empty our cups again and again, to remain childlike and playful with eyes, always open and always looking for that fresh ideas, for that next inspiration. Another quote that expands on this: "In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities, but in the expert's, there are few." When we learn something new, we give our whole attention to it. It is an adventure where the mind listens completely and the senses are alive. But as it gradually becomes familiar, we lose that sense of wonder, that sense of excitement. The more knowledge and memories we store about a subject, the more our awareness dims, our thoughts conform to a pattern, and we think in trenches, unable to see something in an entirely new light. As we collect experience, we just cover up our ability to see life's opportunities. A child sees a rose as a rose without saying what it is. An adult sees an ornament of romance, of hang-ups, and is weary of its thorns. The adult blocks their ability to see beauty as just beauty, whereas the children see without the need to name or label or give it any kind of meaning. What happens when our eyes can no longer see our work with the same excitement, the same freshness, the same joy? The security of our careers, our titles, our degrees requires us to trade our freedom for the convenience of labels and the comforts of routine. But when we physically and mentally roam in only the space we know, we stunt our growth, we dwarf our opportunities, and we clip the roots like bonsai trees. H.P. Lovecraft is quoted as saying, "The oldest and strongest emotion of mankind is fear, and the oldest and strongest kind of fear is the fear of the unknown." Fear is a life-protective measure and a form of intelligence. If a snake crosses your path, you move out of its way. If a building is on fire, you get out of it. But fear can become pathological, making you afraid of things which have no cause for fear. The fear of losing your job, the fear of public speaking, the fear of failing or making a mistake. This kind of fear is abnormal. It creates indecisiveness and stagnation. Rather than take action, we fear failure, we lose opportunities for innovation, and joy. Courage, on the other hand, is not the absence of fear, but rather the acceptance of fear. The risks are still there, but you act in spite of them. You push new boundaries, you're opening up new doors. When most of us begin something such as a new task or skill, we have nothing to lose, so we have nothing to fear. In fact, fear is about losing what we possess, of losing the comfort of certainty, what we know. It was Socrates, one of the most beloved founding fathers of Western civilization, who said, "I know that I know nothing," which courageously defending his views or the right to question them even when they lead to his death. But we don't need to be martyrs in order to live courageously and question everything we know. We simply must become beginners who see every day full of new opportunities. Now here's a great story that just kind of reinforces this point. Zen Master Aku was very clever. even as a young boy. When he got into trouble, which was often, his quick wits always found a way to get him out. But one day he dropped his master's beloved teacup, a precious gift and a rare antique, which shattered the moment it hit the ground. The young monk knew he was in trouble, but before he could think or formulate a plan, he heard footsteps approaching. He quickly swept up the pieces, hid them in his robe, only to turn around and see his master eyeing him. "Is something the matter, Rakuyu?" the old man asked. "No, master. I was just wondering why. Why must people die?" "It's natural," said the master. "Everything must experience both life and death. When it's time, even you will die." "Everything?" "Yes, everything," said the master. "Should we be upset about it?" "Nonsense. It's a fact we must accept," said the master. "Master," said Aku, as he revealed the shattered cup, "it was time for your teacup to die. It's time to play like children and see through fresh eyes, to once again be beginners, to restore our passion, and to restore our excitement for new possibilities. It's time for us to break our cup so that we can fill it again." If you enjoyed today's show, you can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes, YouTube, Spreaker, or wherever you find your favorite podcast. You can find all the links and resources from this episode, along with every other episode going back to 2005 at philmckinney.com. Just click on podcast. I would love to hear your feedback, such as your thoughts on the new format for the show, topics you would like covered, or any questions you might have. Ping me on Twitter at Phil McKinney, all one word, or on LinkedIn or Facebook. You can find links to where I hang out on social media at philmckinney.com. And as always, thanks for listening.